So I was meeting with a potential client earlier today, and they had a question. And the question on their mind was, am I saving too much? Can I actually save a little bit less and spend a little bit more now to enjoy life just a little bit more now? So I put together a sample client so you could see how I would approach answering this question. So we have our four elements here in the middle: our savings rate, burn rate, which is spending, debt rate, and tax rate. And these four combine to equal cash flow. So anytime we get a question about cash flow, the first thing we want to do is look here in the middle and be sure that we have all of our cash flow accounted for. And so if you add these four up, the percentages we have in here right now, we get it works out to about 86%. We want that to be 100% because what that means is we have cash flow that's unaccounted for. Somewhere there's money coming in or going out that is unaccounted for. Oftentimes, 9 times out of 10, when we see this, people are actually spending more money than they realize, or their taxes are actually higher than they realize. But in either case, this is the first thing we look at. From there, we can look at the savings rate. We can say, let's click in here. And we can look here and we can say, okay, so their savings rate, if they really were saving 21% of their income, this is typical. So it's not overly aggressive. It's not atypically low. This is pretty typical. So that's great. That's really good. Next, we can look at burn rate. And we see that this is actually pretty typical as well. So again, we're looking good so far. We can look at debt rate. And we can look here and see this is actually low. If we don't have any debt, that's always a good thing as well. So even though this is low, that's a really big positive. And then taxes are what they are. There's not really a low or a high, but whenever we do see high total tax bill, $60,000 out of $350,000 in income, that indicates there may be some opportunity for tax planning. Regardless, though, anytime we get a question about cash flow, especially something around, am I saving too much? We want to look here and be sure that we have all of our cash flow is actually accounted for. From there, then a few other things we would look at is how much cash do you have in the bank? In this case, they have quite a bit, 1.4 years worth of cash. It's good. But there's not much in retirement. So depending on where they are, how old they are, if they're new in their career, just getting started, this might be okay. But if they're older, if they're getting closer to retirement, we would look here and say, you know what, this is really low. Your savings rate, yeah, it's pretty healthy, but the amount you have in savings is very unhealthy. So you're probably not saving enough, and vice versa.